Hello, everyone. Welcome to our program Consciousness in Evolution, a project from Reaprendência International, whose objective is to debate essential themes of conscienciology. Reaprendência is a conscienciocentric institution dedicated to the re-education and personal growth. We also bring researchers and instructors to debate with us themes such as self-re-education, parapsychism, out-of-body experience, bioenergies, multiple lives, and many other subjects related to self-evolution. Okay? So we are very happy to announce to you that in today's webinar, we are going to have our guests that are Carla Galdino and Patricia Ribeiro. And they are both instructors that live in the USA and have a large experience in teaching conscienciology abroad, okay? And Carla Galdino is our volunteer at Reaprendência International, and Patricia is from Evolucim, that is a conscienciocentric institution dedicated to the studies and evolution of children in general, children and teenagers, okay? They are going to talk today about immanent energy in practical life and how can we improve our balance, our well-being, and assist others through immanent energies, okay? So people, you feel free to send us any questions, to send your doubts, and to debate with us about this important concept that is immanent energy, okay? So I'm going to introduce to you Carla Galdino. Welcome, Carla.
Hey, Eliane, how are you?
Well, we're very happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
Very good. So people, Carla is Brazilian and was born in Santa Catarina. She has been living in the USA since 2000 and is currently a nurse, graduated from the nursing school at Broward College, Florida. She's also a volunteer teacher and researcher of conscienciology since 2003. Okay? And so we have also Patricia Ribeiro. Welcome, Patricia.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hello. So Patricia Ribeiro is Brazilian, graduated in business administration and work as a financial executive. She's a volunteer of conscienciology since 1993, itinerant instructor of conscienciology since 1997, having taught in several countries such as Brazil, Bahamas, USA, Mexico, England, Portugal, and Spain. She's author of the free course Holotocenic Pressure, and she can talk about it for us a little bit more about this course. And she's also a verbetographer and a facilitator of conscienciology instructor development course and advanced courses such as ECP1 and ECP2. Currently, as I told you, she volunteers at Evolucim. So, my friends, so you can start at any time talking about immanent energy. What is this concept about? Let us know more about it, okay?
Oh, perfect. So first of all, let's put it at the principle of disbelief. I think we should always start any talking about conscientiology with this principle that don't believe in anything, have your own experience, don't believe not even in what we are saying here, but just have an open mind about what we are going to talk here. So just to give some background, conscientiology is a study of consciousness in a more way, considering that we have many bodies, we have multiple dimensions and multiple existences. So when we talk, we're going to talk about immanent energy and the way we see to connect with the energy is through the energetic. One of the bodies is energetic body. So we have the physical body. We have this one here that we have. We have the energetic body that is connected to Lilian is putting that the topics. So it's sorry. So we have the topics. What is immanent energy? Types of immanent energy, connections with immanent energy, and how to use the immanent energy on daily life. So this is the topics that we gonna develop today. But like I was,
Carla, do you need me to change the slide for you, or do you prefer you to do it yourself?
Yeah, I forgot that I could do it. I'm sorry, Liani. So now I can do it. Yeah. So let me go back again.
Very good.
Yeah, do this. So the topics, yes. So like I said before, conscientiology, what it is. And then for us in conscientiology, we have just two realities, energy and consciousness. And the consciousness, like I said before, we have different bodies. And one of these bodies that we call energetic body is the one where we absorb energy, the immanent energy. And what would be this immanent energy? It's the energy that permeates the universe, the cosmos. Is a more pure energy. It's what we call the vital energy. In India, they call like the prana. In China, they call the chi. So it's a more raw energy. There is no information. It's subtle, this immanent energy. And then we absorb these energies to our chakras, and then we input on this energy our own information with our thoughts and energies and sentiments. Right? So that would be the consciential energies.
Carla, can I just give expand a little bit more before we dive into the energy itself? Just like on the introduction, I don't know who here is listening us for the first time and who is already very familiar with, but just so you guys have an idea, when Carla is saying, right, what is the lenses, what is the paradigm that we are using to do this study, and we are going to details as far as immanent energy mostly today, right? We're gonna talk about that, especially in practical life, but it's just good for us to have a quick idea of when we say what is conscienciology. We are talking about studying energies and consciousness, as Carla said, right? And we would like just to highlight a few of the points that are pillars for us to use those lenses, right? So when we talk about consciousness study or conscientiology, we are talking about multidimensionality, right? Multiple dimensions, meaning we as consciousness, regardless of which vehicle we are using to manifest ourselves, we will be able to manifest ourselves in different types of dimensions, right? So we are talking about multidimensionality. So the out-of-body experience, for example, right, it is one way for us to leave our physical body most of the times sleeping and manifest ourselves in a non-physical dimension, on an extra physical dimension, on the spiritual realms, right? On the non-physical atmosphere, but we still are who we are and we can still manifest ourselves. So that's multidimensionality, right? We are also including multi-existentiality, right? The fact that we as consciousness have had past lifetimes before this one, and will most likely continue to have a few more in this life form, in this format, right? Throughout our evolution, as we get better from the inside out, right? As we mature, as we get better in terms of mainly cosmoethics, right? As we mature, as we understand, as we change our actions, we evolve, right? We make less mistakes, or at least we try to make new mistakes in terms of evolution, and help whomever was part of our closest group, as a family group or a bigger group, me in a city, in a country, or even larger groups, but doing better with our free time, with our free will, right? Things that we use today that in the past, in the recent history, right, was not as abundant as we have today. So it is a great opportunity for us in terms of multi-existentiality. to understand our past, right? And for this, just a quick parenthesis about Evolucin, uh, because that organization will study the resomatology, the fact that we resomate, that we get a new body here every time, right? And what does that mean? In what context this happen? What does that mean in terms of past lives, in this life, our karmas, our connections, our links, where, how, why things happen to us in this lifetime, and what do we do about them, right? So understanding that resoma, right, that process of being born again is really interesting, no? And that's what Evolucin does. So we're talking then about multi-existentiality, right, and how that affects our evolution. So what we are today is a result of our past choices. And when we are studying consciousness, a lot of times, right, we say, oh, I'm not happy about this thing. I'm not happy about that thing within myself. And good news is you are what you are because you did what you did. So if you want to see something different, we still have time from here forward. It's a good time to change, right? And that's why it's so interesting to study consciousness, because we are able to fly the plane and fix it at the same time. And that's the challenge to all of us, right, Carla?
Yeah, we have autonomy, right? It's up to us. If I'm not happy with it's happening to me, it's not, oh, well, I'm gonna, no, it's up to me to change.
My husband, my government is nobody's fault.
Exactly. It's just about
I'm
us.
still flying the plane here, right?
Yes.
And that's a great opportunity, and that's what, you know, reaprendencia comes in with so many resources, for example, in all of the other organizations within conscientiology studies, right? So but just then multidimensionality, multi-existentiality, parapsychism, so the psychic phenomena in itself, they can be useful as well to help us evolve, right? Not only out of body experience, but clairvoyance, clairaudience, recognition, precognition, and the more than 40 phenomena that we study, right? And bioenergies, which is what we're going to dive in, especially today, on the immanent energy, right, is another important pillar, because we are either consciousness or energy, and energy can be used, transformed, right, within so many forms that we will definitely, regardless if we want or not, we will deal with immanent energy in our lives, right? So it's not a matter of choice in this case, but it is a matter of choice if you learn how to do this in favor of yourself, of your health, of your well-being, and all of that we are going to discuss today, as well as within inter-assistance, meaning helping other consciousnesses, right? A dog, a cat, a person, somebody that has a physical body, somebody that has passed through physical death from this soma point of view, places, environments, objects. So everything can be touched by energy and transformed a little bit by that, right? So bioenergies is really, really important. And it's also important for us to talk about cosmoethics, right? Cosmoethics is also one important pillar for us on the lenses of the consciousness study, on the conscienciology study, right? And I quickly, there are courses that are weekend long about this subject, but just in a short way would be for us to understand what is the most ethical way that I can manifest myself. And when I say ethical, I would add the cosmo before and say not only the culture where I was born, the country, the village, the family, but what would be the best or the orthotocenic, the most correct, right, within whatever I understand about life, way of keeping my thoughts, my sentiments, emotions, and my actions towards everything, everybody, and everywhere within each manifestation that I have. And we know for sure, right, from us being alive and existing and doing this for such a long time, that we can even notice that within one person, within ourselves, our cosmoethics will change throughout life because we understand better. And when look, not that the fact that we know conscientiology makes us better. That's not what I meant. What I meant is that whenever we learn a better behavior, we should be responsible for changing ourselves, right? So if in a past life was okay for me to kill somebody because it was either kill or die, that's not the case anymore today in this lifetime. I have other choices, right? So within my maturity level, I will choose, oh, should I be that angry with the other person because they made a mistake? Or am I overreacting? And if I am, I would be anti-ethical or anti-cosmoethical within my level, within my life experience, right? And that's why it's so interesting, because cosmoethics, it's about each individual level of understanding and how they practice life, right?
Very good.
So those pillars are important for us when we talk about consciousness study, right? We are considering all of those things, and within the bioenergies, we also, Carla was talking about physical body, right? The astral body or psychosoma, the energetic body, right? The energy energosoma, and the mental soma. We didn't talk about that yet, but meaning we have vehicles of manifestations to use as cars or as clothes as we need to be in different places at different times. But at this very moment, we are all, at least the ones that are physically here watching this, no, and interacting through the chat. I see everybody here. Hi, Renata. Hi, Claudia. Sick meditation, and whomever else is out there. So welcome to everybody. And we are intraphysically interacting with those energies, with our thoughts, with typing, with asking questions, right? And so that's where we are within the consciential paradigm, how we interact with all of those things to study the very essence of who we are, right? Of the consciousness itself.
Patricia and Carla, I would like to make a question that is very basic for our studies. That is the concept of tocin. Okay. So I would like you to explain more, because Patricia said a word that is a new word, that is orthotocin. So can you tell us what is tocin? What is orthotocin?
Yes, so we have right there, if you are able to watch, not only listen, but we have there, tocin equals thoughts plus sentiments plus emotions. So what we mean when we use the word tocin, we mean the unity of manifestation that has three components: what we think, how we feel, and how we act. Right? So this unit of manifestation always has these three components. Sometimes we will have more action in it. Sometimes it's more charged on the emotional part. Other times is more charged on the mental or thought part, right? But in a way or another, regardless if we are using our physical body as intraphysical consciousnesses, as somebody that is alive right now in the physical world, or if we have passed through the physical death and we are communicating with the intraphysical people, both ways we will still use thoughts, sentiments, emotions, and energy, right? So I think we are missing energy, right, Eliana, on the definition: thoughts, sentiments, emotions, and energy.
Sure.
Right?
I'll grab
And so energy meaning the action part, okay? So if we are running a marathon, we are mostly using our muscles. That's the action, right? That's the energy part. But you are not free from thinking or feeling things, and we do everything at the same time, right? If you are reading a book, you are probably using more of your thoughts and not so much of your physical body or energy, but they are still there. And if you learn how to work with the bioenergies, you can even install what we say, to install a field, an energy field that can be favorable for you to study for longer hours, to understand better. So we can use those scenes, thoughts, sentiments, emotions, and energies together to make it better around us, in our favor, as well as in favor of others.
Others.
Okay, so I'll give you an example. If you are dealing with somebody at work, you are a customer service person and you are talking to a customer and you see that this person is very angry, is having a bad day, is completely alterated, right? At that very moment, you can use your thoughts to help calm down that person. For example, by exteriorizing energies to that person in front of you and changing the energetic atmosphere, which will not change the thought of the person, but by changing the environment, maybe they feel a little bit less pressure, maybe they will relax a little bit, and they will start being not so angry, right? And maybe they can reassess their own thoughts and they will say, oh, okay, maybe I was overreacting, maybe I didn't need, to be so angry. And so you can help the whole situation by exteriorizing energies, for example,
And then,
consciential energies, right? Which is what we're going to go there. So I don't know if it's clear about the thoughts.
okay.
If you guys have any questions, you can type it here in our chat, right? And but what we meant is a unit of manifestation that is that has three components: thoughts, sentiments, and energies, sentiments, emotions, and energy, right? So what we think, what we do, how we feel go together.
And then the orthotocin would be ortho, it comes from right. So it would be like you have a more, we could say more cosmoetical tocin. It would be like the example that Patricia just brought to us. Like instead of getting mad and thus making the situation worse, we would be able to have more like, okay, what's happening? How can I help this person? What's going on? And most of the time, this is a practice in daily life. We don't do this. Sometimes we are so busy that you just like, oh, this person is so this and so. So we just make things worse, right? So to be able to have a more this orthotocin, to think about it, okay, why this person is not this? How can I help here? I think it's the best way of, right? How can I help this situation here? Or how can I make this situation less worse? And sometimes we really cannot help, but just not adding, just being more cosmoetical with our thoughts and sentiments and energy is already a help, a big help. Right?
But yes, Carla, go ahead if you want, because then we can dive into the topic, right? Otherwise, we only have 1 hour.
Yeah, so we already spoke, right? That we have two, so in conscientiology, we have two realities, energy and consciousness, and then we can manipulate, we can transform the energies, right? The consciousness, we have one vehicle that we already spoke about it, that we absorb the immanent energy, and then we can add in information that is our tocin, that is our, so we absorb the energy, we add our thoughts and sentiments, and then we have what we call, let me just move over here, the consciential energy. So, but we are going to talk about the immanent energy. So immanent energy is a more pure energy, a vital type of energy. It doesn't have the information. It's the energy that permeates the universe, the cosmos. Not just when we talk about immanent energy, we have sometimes this thing, oh, it's nature. And it is, nature is part of immanent energy, but it's not just the nature, it's the whole cosmos, right? We have the cosmic, and we're going to see the types of energy. We have cosmic energy. So it's a very subtle energy. And we have the ability to absorb this energy and take it and utilize in our benefits and benefit of others. So let me put it here. So the types of immanent energy. So we have the phytoenergy, that the energy from the trees, from the flowers, from forests. And then this type of energy, it's interesting because there is different patterns. If we see, like when you just say, is energy, phytoenergy is energy from the plants, and you just say trees, or but there is, each tree has a, like us, each person has a different type of energy, because the same with the trees. If you go there, do the experiment to try to go and absorb energy from one tree and then go to the other and then go to different, you're going to notice that the pattern is different. We used to have here this class of bioenergies in nature, and then we would go to a park and absorb, try to absorb energies from trees, from water. And we could notice that some trees, you could go there, absorb, and you could feel the connection, like more like a hug from the tree. And others, it would be like very, like, how can I say, repelling you, like they don't really, you could not make the connection with the energy. So the phyto energy, there is different types of phyto energy. The same thing with, I was thinking even today when I went to the beach, the different type of hydro energy, because we have, for instance, Eliane, there you guys have the Iguazu Falls, right? The cataratas. Patricia went there, I went there. You can feel that is very, the pattern there is a lot of energy. You can feel energized there, right? It's a lot of energy. We can feel that you live there like feeling revigorating. But there is other places, like for instance, when I go to the beach, is ocean, and I feel, not that I feel relaxing, like this, the hydro energy, but I feel very like more calm, more peaceful. It's not that I don't feel energizing. I feel more relaxing with the pattern of the ocean. I don't know if you guys feel the same. How do you feel about the hydro energy? This is even for who is listening. What is the connection? How do you feel about the energy from the water? Just when we talk about hydro energy, another thing that comes to my mind is like cleaning, right? We feel like cleaning something is like cleaning my energies. Is another thing.
Detoxification as well. It comes to my mind sometimes. We are so intoxicated with everyday energies, and when we take a shower or when we swim, it's very good for detoxifying the our energosoma. Carla, I want to mention something. You mentioned the waterfalls here in Iguazu Falls, and over there it's really a great amount of energy, but not only from hydro energy, and all the movement of the waterfalls brings intensifies the energetic process, but they also have the phyto energies in abundance, and the zoo energy, because they have a lot of the animals and different types of animals over there. And so it's a mixture, and the rocks and the soil that is the gel energy. So it's whenever we go to a natural park, it's like that. That's why we feel so energized. There's not only one type, it's all together. So I think it's something we should try someday.
Yeah, it's just
Do you have
interesting.
something to suggest to people about that?
Oh, about going to parks? Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I noticed. What I suggest is, like, for instance, doing physical exercise in nature, like going instead. Sometimes, I go to the gym to run. Go and run to a park. It's you, and then have the opportunity, for instance, to just um, um, absorb and exercise. I do this, like absorb and exercise energy while running or just walking to the park, or even on the beach. I go to the beach and I start walking and absorbing energy, and then I try to absorb the energy. Think, oh, now I wanted to absorb energy for the wind, and then try to discriminate, because it's all together, right? It's in the beach, is the wind, is the ocean, is the sun. So I'm trying to discriminate this. Oh no, what do I feel when I perceiving the energy of the wind? What do I feel in myself or my energetic body when I am absorbing the energy from the sun, or when I'm absorbing the energy from the water? Like I said, for me, the water is more, I feel very relaxing. And I saw the other day an article talking about how the ocean, the color blue, is very, they already have a study saying that it's very relaxing, is very peaceful. And this is true, right? This is what I really feel like. I feel very, like, how can I say, like my energies are more loose, and then I feel very relaxing. And I think that this is what my theory, that would even facilitate, for instance, because the energies are more loose, to have an out of body experience or something like this. But walking, doing exercise, and on the parks or beach or in nature is something.
Carla and Patricia, can you tell us how can we absorb energies? Can you tell us, our first timers that are
Mhm.
listening to us, how are the techniques to absorb energies?
Oh, you just to think about it, just to think about it. I want to absorb energy from the trees, and then you just, or you can go in front of the tree and just, because we still learning, you put the, don't need, but we can put the hands close to, and just give the command of, I want to absorb the energy from this tree, specific tree here. And then you start to perceive the energy. What are you perceiving? Are you perceiving the energy coming in? What type of sensations? You could feel like tingling on your hand, or could feel like warm, cold. It depends of the type of the energy from that tree, right? So you could feel
And
more.
I would say that we will talk more about that ahead, but since you asked now, so we are seeing in this picture all of the different types of immanent energies, right? But how could we absorb them? Well, we can do this in a more technical way, using our chakras and applying technique of absorption of energy. So if you are in nature, if you are the beach, if you are dealing with your garden and you are right there, you naturally already absorb energy without doing anything, right? Most likely. But if you intentionally want to do it, that's what Carla was also saying. Okay, you got to think about it. You can use your chakras, right, as open doors to receive and donate energies. Example, palmo chakras. But all the major chakras we have in reapprendation has many classes that will go deep into all of that. We don't, unfortunately, we don't have time here to discuss that. But just think of yourself as a being that has an energy body, which we call an ergosoma, and this energosoma will have thousands of tiny little points of connection to absorb and exteriorize energies, as well as major concentrations, which we call the major seven chakras, that are doors to send and receive energy. So you can intentionally think of your chakras and bring those energies inside of yourself. You don't need to do any physical movement for that. You can be just sitting on a chair and absorbing. And you can also do that in local, in place, if you are right there in contact with that specific type of energy. So for example, you are getting some sunlight, sunbathing, right? You're just there laying on the sun and absorbing energies. Or if you are away in a totally different environment, but through your thoughts, through your thoughts, you can bring that energy right back inside of you, regardless of where you are, right? You can be at
And that's
work,
great
you
to
can
know.
be riding the bus, and you can still
Important.
absorb energies from nature, right? Even though your physical body is not there, right? Because remember, we are multidimensional beings. We're right. We can exchange those energies all the time, and we can do that intentionally.
Yeah.
And there is no walls for energy, right? There is no frontiers.
People, teachers, I have here a question from, it's not a question, but it's more a comment from someone that named Seek Meditation. Okay, and I'm gonna read to you. Okay, prana literally means pran. Pran is breath, air, element. Chakras are subtle and pran shakti, energy. Our subtle body is timeless, is not prevalent or subjected to this universe. So, well, it's another line of knowledge. Okay, so it seems that the person
Yes, yes,
is
I
connected
agree,
I
Sif.
agree.
Yep,
yoga.
that's it, Sif.
Okay?
Yeah, we are saying
Yeah,
that,
but
prana, breath, the breath,
prana
the
is the
air.
immanent
The
energy. I'm
energy.
not
Yep.
saying immanent
Mhm.
energy, but I just want to mention that the conscienciology has in its roots a lot of this ancient knowledge that comes from yoga, that comes from
Um,
China, in other lines of thoughts that are very ancient. But we have different names. But in the end, the things are very similar because the yogis, they studied this kind of techniques of absorbing and exteriorizing energies quite a long time ago. It's more or less the same. They had the knowledge of chakras. So maybe we don't know all the names. I'm not familiar with the names of the different neology, different names. Let's put this way. In conscienciology, we have new words. We say that they are neologisms. Okay, but it's more or less it works the same. Do you have something
Yeah,
to comment?
yes, that's exactly what he said. That is what we were talking about with the chakras, right? So,
mhm.
yes, Sith, right? They are timeless, right? Our subtle body is timeless, timeless.
It is the
It's
psychosoma.
not
Yes,
prevalent, and it is. It's not from this universe. It's not physical. Correct. That's it. Yeah.
Is extra physical. That's what conscienciology says. That is about the psychosoma, the vehicle that we use. We've been using it for many, many lives. We discard the soma, that is the physical body, but the psychosoma is the same until we reach a very advanced level, and then we can get rid or get free from the psychosoma as well. But that will take some millennials. Okay.
Yeah.
And another comment from Seek Meditation. Okay. Peace is inside, not outside. We'll love everything when we'll leave out less automatic thoughts. Okay.
it's true too.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yes,
think he's sharing,
yes.
his concepts,
He's
but yeah, makes sense. It
good.
does.
Very good. And another comment here. Thoughts are nothing but Maya. So here maybe it's a different word for us.
Yeah, yeah. The Maya is the non-existing, the imagination. It's not real, right? If I understand in the sense that you want to say it, but yes, if I am trying to translate, and you correct me if this is not what you meant, but you're kind of reinforcing that thoughts are not reality, right? They are on the helm of the Maya, of the non-existing, right? Of the imagination in situations like that. Well, what we can go deeper when we study the vehicles of manifestations, right? When we call them soma, holochakra or energosoma, psychosoma or astral body, and mental soma, right? And when we talk about mental soma, would be our most advanced vehicle of manifestation, and that's exactly what Eliane was saying. That is how conscientiology frames it, right? How we use it our didactically, so we can talk about it. And the thoughts are not us, right? So we are not our thoughts. And that's important, even from a psychology point of view, because a lot of times people confuse their thoughts with who they are, right? We are not our thoughts. And we can learn how
To
to
think.
use our thoughts, how to control our thoughts, how to change our thoughts, how to deal with all of that. That is our non-material, but it's still part of us, right? And that's a part of our challenge. That's part of our evolution, right?
Yeah,
That's what we are trying better every day.
And how,
that's
and then how we can use the energy to also help with our thoughts, right? Sometimes we are having like patterns of thoughts that maybe is not that helpful, and then we start working like absorbing energy, exercising energy. So we are, and then we start having a better, like our mind is, our thoughts getting more clear, like we able to think with more clarity, right? And then this is it goes together, right? When we say tosin, it goes together. If we start working with energy, then we are able to improve our thoughts, and then we improve our thoughts. If we can work more with energy, improve our sentiments, right? So it's all, for us, is all together. So that we call tosins, right?
That's a very important point. I'm writing here that we are not our thoughts. We can re-educate ourselves, have better toxins, have orthotoxins. That's very essential, and immanent energies can help us. And wow, that's very good to know. And another thing is that Reaprendência is a consciocentric institution dedicated to that, to help us to know how to re-educate ourselves in these terms. So
And I think this is regardless of what we can say that is our purpose in life, and everybody will have a different specific purpose in life, right? But regardless of that, we all have a challenge to re-educate ourselves in so many ways, in so many levels, right? I think this is very important.
yeah, and
And
people,
then
we have a last comment here about seek meditation. Once we'll separate our mind, subtle body from physical body, we'll have no suffering. We'll need to live the present. Don't think about future and past. What do you think about? Should we not think about future and past and live the present? Is that what they meant?
no, I think we can learn from our past. So we don't need to think all the time about the past, but we can learn from our past. And yes, we don't need to think all the time about the future, but we need to plan. We need to think ahead. What, right? Nothing happens if we don't plan, if we don't think about the future. Right? Otherwise, we'll be more like, how do you say, like deixa a vida me levar, like just let the, I'm go with the flow, and some, right? So I think it's we important be present, but we do need to, there is moments where we need to know about the past to not make the same mistakes, right?
Yeah, it's important today. Nowadays, people say a lot about mindfulness, that is to really
Be
be
present.
present with the present moment and enjoying things more carefully, more slowly. That's very important as well. But I do agree, we have to plan things, think ahead, do our strategies, put our strategies to work in favor of ourselves, and in favor of the ones we love, our families, our sons and parents and
Yeah.
friends.
And I think just one thing that he mentioned there, right? He or she, that we will have no suffering, right? Um, I agree with you that a lot of the emotional heavy load of the suffering is self-imposed, and if we are present to the moment, that can be diminished and lifted, right? Some people really choose to live in suffering because they want to keep ruminating their same emotions over and over again, and that's a choice because they don't know any better yet, right? Until there is a moment in our life that we gotta make a choice. So I either choose to make that pain a forever pain that will keep me down forever, or I choose to turn the page. And when I choose to turn the page, I am not charging the other person for my suffering or the situation or whatever it is that caused that pain in me. I am just releasing and I am letting go of all those things with respect, with thankfulness, with everything, with gratitude. And then, the suffer will be released, but it's also a choice, right? So being lucid, being present, I agree with you. It's very important to be present, and it's very important to respect ourselves and our feelings, and it's okay to feel pain and suffer in different points in our life. It's part of life, but planning for the future, choosing how much we are going to allow that to keep us down, that is a choice. And there will be a moment where the person will say enough, and when we say enough, we turn the page.
And
But
Patricia,
how much is too much? How low can you go? Right? It's a choice. It's a choice.
yeah,
And some people, unfortunately, they spend their whole entire human life, this lifetime, suffering about something that somebody did to them. And maybe yes, they were victims, but life is more than that.
And that,
And we need to expand.
and Patty, I think that sometimes also the person, because sometimes we don't know how to work with energy. So some people get in this load of thinking that you say, loop of thinking, because they get energy from others. But you can be, if we understand how to work with energies, we see that we are self-sufficient with our own energy. So I don't need to get on that loop and things just because then people will be sorry for me. Then I have attention, then I have other people's energy. I can provide myself my own energy, right? Like we are talking here.
I can feel my own hold, right? Whatever is missing
Yes,
me, I have
very
all the
good.
tools within me to fix that. Right?
exactly.
I agree. I agree, Karen.
Yeah, and that is only possible when we have what we call consciential openness. We are open to see new things, to release things, as Patricia mentioned, and that's very important. That's when things really happen and we evolve. That's what we've been studying, and I do. I think that makes total sense.
And one thing that I think we didn't mention, but is very important, self-knowledge, right?
Yeah, I
Self-knowledge.
agree.
Like when
Will
we
take
read,
you out of this hole, right?
exactly, yes, because then we understand, but okay, because okay, we are suffering. Maybe it's even is we I am nobody somebody did something to me, but okay, but then I know myself better. Say I can get out of this situation. That I don't need to be suffering for something that um, was in the past, right? So it's very interesting. So
Very well.
okay,
Let's move a bit further.
yes. So, oh, the other types of energies, it's the solar energy. So, and if we think about, we are here talking about the energies, but not when we talk about the solar energies, is more, is the subtle, is the we can say like the extra physical energy, like the immanent energy, but it's not the solar energy that we have here, the intraphysical. It's in the extra physical solar energy. So, and if in the intraphysical, the sun is just so important to us, right? For instance, it helps with regulate our circadian rhythm, vitamins D, so many things that are important for our physical body with from the solar energy. Now, imagine how it works on the extra physical. How can we absorb this energy and feel like to me, I'm suspect to talk because I really like the warm. We live in Florida, and I like to live in Florida because we have the sun all the time. And even though it's very hot in the summer and things like that, but when you go outside and you feel that energy, you are walking on not that hot in the morning, I feel revigorating. I can feel like I'm full of energy. If I'm able to do exercise in the morning in the sun, I feel more disposition to do things. So I know that for some people are not the same, but the solar energy is something very powerful to me. And the geo energy is interesting because we can see different types of the same thing, patterns, the same thing we did with phyto energy, with geo energy, that is the energy of the earth, really. So some places, for instance, here in Florida, is more like a mangrove. It's not real earth, like that dark energy. Is more like sandy energy. So we can notice that phyto energy, geo energy is not as strong as if we go to, for instance, to Georgia, where the mountains of Georgia, where you have that dirt like energy. So we can notice the difference from the energy. Here in Florida, what I perceive is more the wind energy that comes from the the wind, right? The helio energy, and the hydro energy. I can feel more this type of energy. And the geo energy, I don't feel that as much as when I go, for instance, to Brazil, to my own city. I don't know, Patrick, do you feel the same?
Yeah, yes. No, Florida, it's water, water
Right?
and sun mostly.
Yeah, yeah,
The
and wind.
strong, the
Yeah.
stronger natural energies are, sun and water.
And then it's interesting also to perceive, like here we have hurricanes, right? We have,
Yeah.
so it's more the helio energy that comes, the energy from the wind. And when we have the hurricanes, it's interesting because it's strong, it's very powerful, but then once it goes, it's calm,
It changes, right?
it's
It changes
changed.
completely the energy of the cities.
And then the other day I was thinking about this class, and then I was thinking, but so I, how the more evolved consciousness use these immanent energies, these phenomena like hurricane, tornadoes. We have a lot of tornadoes here in the United States, or even floods, to use this strong energy and to do like, could be like a cleansing, like more like related to urbanization, right? Because sometimes we
Yeah.
feel like and it's more like, so when we talk about, why we're talking about reurbanization, will be more like on the extra physical dimension, right? I don't know if you guys agree with this thought.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to know more about reurbanization, but we will have a live, especially for reurbanization. That is a very interesting concept about to arrange things to re-educate consciousnesses from other dimensions, and that will impact directly on our dimension in the intraphysical dimension. That's very interesting. I just want to point to publish here a comment from Anna Yogan. Yes, hello Anna, thanks for the comment. And she's mentioning, in conscienciology, terminology includes neologisms that translate terms from other sources of knowledge. The synonyms can be found in the book Projectology. That's very important. And you people, you can download the Projectology for free in English, and that's great. At the website from Isaac. Isaac is a conscienciocentric, it's a pre-conscienciocentric institution, is formalizing itself, and soon will become a conscienciocentric institution, but it is a group that is dedicated to the expansion of conscienciology internationally, and they have all the links of the free books in English. I will publish here the link for you to download if you are interested, okay? From Isaac. And another comment about from Anna Yogan, I will publish here, is about mindfulness. Mindfulness is one technique that helps us to achieve freedom and wellness. Could you suggest other possibilities?
I think we were heading there, right, Carla? There's another slide ahead. I don't know if we can move there. Maybe we can already talk about all of those things. Let's see,
That
like
one.
one more. What? I think we can go one more, right? Because then we can go. Was that one,
There's one.
Carla?
Which
No, I
one?
think it was the other one. Yeah,
No,
techniques to absorb energy, right? So, Anna, uh, yes, mindfulness is one technique. It's a very good technique, and I think it can even help us with our basic mobilization of energy, which is a technique from conscientiology that can be applied, and maybe yes, could be one of the possibilities if you ask us to suggest, right? So we could use our own chakras, as we were describing before, our own energy body, our energosoma, right, as doors to send and receive energy, right? So we could achieve freedom and wellness through sending energies out through these bigger chakras or smaller nadis, right? Or channels of energy. We can also absorb energies from nature, as I was saying before, if you are immersed physically in that environment, or from far. You can be in your house, laying down in your bed, close your eyes, relax, and think about a forest, think about a mountain, think about the beach, think about the waterfalls, and feel again those energies, filling you with all of that natural, immanent, right? Non-consciential energy. So that's one way to recharge, right? And we can also do the mobilization of energies through, within, inside our own energosoma, up and down, moving our chakra energy through our chakras up and down. We can do that in a slower fashion, but constant. We can increase the speed and achieve what we call the vibrational state, which will be a very intense mobilization of the energies inside, outside, and throughout of our own chakras. That usually help us a lot with this recharging well-being, like you are asking, right? Here we also Carla brought us some reminders, especially related to immanent energy, right? How to absorb those immanent energy through gardening, walking in a park or forest, hydromagnetic showers, barefoot on the grass or ground. So gardening, we are directly absorbing geoenergy, right? Even so that a lot of people who have gardening as their hobby tell that this is very calming, relaxing, and it helps them, right, to recharge. Walk in a park or a forest, as Carla was mentioning before, right? We can recharge by exercising in nature, for sure, any type of exercise, right? There are groups that do Tai Chi, people that go for walks or runs or bicycle or any kind of nature related exercise can be very, very helpful to us.
And I even, Pachi, just to comment that I saw in Japan now, the doctors are recommending the forest bath. They call Shin Yotu, I think is the name. Where they recommend people to go and walk on the forests, because to recharge, to help with depression, anxiety. Not saying that it's going to solve all the problems, but it helps. And especially after the pandemic, people will stay so long inside the houses and not be able to go outside. So I think that this just increased this type of problems.
Yes. And we mentioned there within that transparency, the techniques to absorb energy, hydromagnetic shower, right? So if you cannot go to the waterfalls or to the forest immediately or every weekend, we can do this at home, right? You can just be under your own shower at home, let the water fall on your crown chakra on top of your head. Just stay there, close your eyes, don't move much, separate your legs so you don't fall, and leave that water falling on your crown chakra. And you can also absorb energy through this movement, right? So there are little things that we can do to bring that source of natural energy closer to us. That is one example, right? Another thing is to have plants inside of the house, to have picture of natural elements inside of the house. So you do what you can, right? I cannot go every day to the forest. I can go maybe once a month or once a week. I do a longer hike, but I cannot go every single day. But what can I do every single day for 5 minutes that will
Take a shower.
recharge my energy, right? Yeah. And the other one we listed there was barefoot on the grass or ground. Yeah, that is another option, right? Sometimes we cannot do a major, right? With a major natural contact with the energy, but we can simply go to the front yard and walk barefoot for 5 minutes, or just stay there. Or if you go to the beach, just sit or stand where the water comes close to your feet for 5 minutes, right? Or if you have a pet, with your dog, with your cat, stay, recharge with them, go to nature with
Play.
them if you can, any kind of natural environment, right? So those are all helpful possibilities for us.
I think we need to just to be able to make time, right? To really make time on our daily lives to have this contact. But some people really do. If you live in a apartment and really in Manhattan where you don't have option, then like we said, we have the shower where we can just absorb energy. And I noticed, especially me that work with a lot of people, just to let that water, I feel like this connection, this assimilating all the energy. So it's really beneficial, right? To just, or sometimes I leave my job, I take my shoes, and before going to the car, I put my foot on the grass just to be able to get home safe. So it's really, don't believe me, just experiment to see the difference.
Yeah, because the idea for us to be talking here, and I know we're running out of time, but it's to remember how immanent energy can be part of our practical life in a healing manner, right? Increasing our health, our well-being, restoring our well-being, helping others by donating energies if somebody's with their energies unbalanced for whatever reason, physical illness, emotional disbalance, whatever it is that is happening, we can help animals, people, environment, right? The place, our workplace, our office, our bedroom, our house. Those are all non-physical things that are impacted by our consciential energy, and we can restore our well-being by absorbing energies from nature, by doing the vibrational state as I was mentioning, by exteriorizing energies. All of these elements combined, they can increase our energetic health. And in the same way that we take care of our physical body, it would be smart for us to also take care of our energy body, of our energy health, right? And with that covered, right? We were just discussing this with Eliane before the class, right? We were talking, and Eliane mentioned, well, yeah, it's true. When we have that covered, everything else gets easier. All of our other projects will flow easier, right? Or better. So it's part
Yeah,
of
it's amazing.
our health care, I would say.
Yeah, sometimes we want to invest in some area in our lives to recycle things, to renew things, but we don't have energy. And if we use these techniques seriously and experimenting them, putting effort also, going to a park, going to forest, practicing these energetic exercises as much as we do physical exercises, then we will see the benefits in our lives. They are very notorious.
And
And people, what I want just to mention that our time is over. Unfortunately, we I would like, you are more than invited for coming back here in a couple of months if you have a time in your agenda for us to continue this conversation. Carla, you were going to say something.
No, I was just saying that, and then we can also the way to help others with our energy, like we can just think about a place, energy, immanent energy that we really have a connection with, and then just think about that place of that park or that cataratas, Iguazu Falls or whatever it is, and then send that pattern of energy to the person that we want to help, for instance, right? Is a way of helping someone with our with the immanent energies.
Very good.
Yeah. Yes, there are so many things, right? We wish we could have more time, but just one quick story, quick. One example, because you told that, and I remember I had a situation once where I was with a family, a related family was somebody that I knew, right? And there was a major unbalanced energy that I was nauseous. I was almost vomiting, right? And the people were fighting, and the energies were horrible, and all of that. So at the point after dinner, such and such, everybody went to watch TV, and it was at night, and I stayed there. I was looking at the TV, but I was not watching the TV. I was evoking those natural energies of my favorite places, as Carla was mentioning, and I was like, wow, sending loads of energy to the room constantly for half an hour, and things started to change, and all of a sudden all three other people were sleeping, and I was the only one awake. And that energy calmed down, and then the things got better. And so, yes, we can interact in daily life, in practical life, with the immanent energy, with the consciential energy, right? With all of that in ways that are not mystical, that are not
No.
complicated. They are simple and they are applicable on daily life.
Very good. Carla, can you say just to close, final words just to close the live today?
Well, it's just that, like Patricia said, this not mystical. It's just need to try. It's just experiment. That's it. Try, absorb energies, exercise energies, do the vibrational states, and notice and comment with us later. What do you feel? How do you feel?
Very good.
An
Very good.
invitation.
Yes,
Invitation to have your own experience.
exactly.
People, so thank you very much, instructors Patricia and Carla. Thank you so much. It was great to have this knowledge, these ideas and experiences shared here with us. And I thank also all the audience that listened to us. Give your like if you liked this lecture, and in subscribe in our channel, okay? And we will have our next live on June the 4th. That is a Sunday, and it's going to be with instructors Djalma Fonseca and Carolina Engelman about a technique that we call conscientiometry. So the question is it possible to measure our evolution? Yes, and we have this instrument called conscientiometry that makes possible for us to know ourselves into more details and analyze in which evolutionary level we are. So you are all invited to join us in this live to know more about this technique, okay? And thank you again for everyone, and happy evolutionary journey.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye.
Hope to see you soon.